go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
Now a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. And now that brings up 4th down there. A loss of 6 yards on the sack.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. They go play action now. Marino. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns now going to take over late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital, where you see the final score there. Zach Wilson, strong in the victory, as his guys looked better than a team that had won just 1 game coming in. We'll stay in the NFC East as we head down to the great state of Texas to check on the Cowboys at home at AT&T Stadium. And right now they have the lead over the visiting New York Giants. Tony Pollard, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the ground. Finally, let's get over to Inglewood, see what's happening with the Chargers at home at SoFi Stadium. And that game all tied up as they do battle with the visiting Raiders.
The Browns going to see the football first, but they trail here as we resume play on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this is picked up. And now off to the races down the right side. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. And maybe that's the perils of being a rookie running back in the NFL. I mean, look, it's not easy to hold on to the ball at any level with these talented guys. But in this league, you can learn a lesson early.
Without a doubt, and what a tough reminder for any running back, especially a rookie. The things you got away with in college probably won't work so well in the NFL.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And it is 42-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Cleveland offense making their way out. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the third quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback, because right now, you just know those pass rushers are fired up to get after him.
Hands it off out of the gun, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead them to 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this will be taken at the 13. The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. They'll start this drive out on the ground. A nice little juke. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 147 yards rushing for him now as Mendes all day long. And we're back now here in Cleveland. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Davis. Shifts past him at the 45. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And the offense moving quickly to the line. The first down carry for Davis. A little juke. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. Here's 2nd and 10. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Back to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Let's take it at around the 40. Ooh, the juke. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here. Things not looking good. This offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season. But in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. They'll look to throw here. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things,